Okay, so let's go on our adventure here. So again, we are just to the west of Geraldton. We are just east of what is known as S Lake, and that's spelled E-S-S. We are just a little ways from milepost 28 and the water tank that was located at milepost 28. You're going to see the milepost marker. You're going to see the water tank and what's left of the section house. Right in through here, there was a big ballast pit, and so they basically dug gravel. You're going to see as we move through here a lot of glacial features, so lots of little till ridges and things like that. And so essentially the railway grade here, you can see it's curving. This is S Lake here. The railway grade curves through here, and then in between it basically cuts through these deposits of till, right? And so this is all sort of glacial features. Hopefully the cloud stays away, because we kind of have a job to do here. We are shooting some drone video at the same time that we're doing this, and we don't want it to cloud over, so we kind of gotta hustle a little bit here, because it's blowing this cloud in. So again, you can just basically see the geography of this area. You essentially have this glacial landscape, right? You have all of these small little lakes that basically were formed by glaciation, and then in between you have, as I said, all of these little till deposits. And so we're going to be coming up to one here. So again, this all hair area here, just off to my right, this was all, they dug ballast in through here, and so you can see it's all kind of flooded. Normally when there's no wind, the lakes are pretty clear in here, and you can see quite a ways down. You might see that coming up here on this other piece of S Lake here. And again, this would have all been filled in. This is all basically fill to form the right-of-way here. You can actually see a lot of the stones that they deposit in here, a lot of the rock work that they put in to form the right-of-way. And so this is what I was referring to here, these till ridges, right, where you have all of this this sand and material that was deposited by the glaciers. And again, they would have used this for ballast, right, because you have a very plentiful source of gravel that you can use. So right here, they basically cut through this entire ridge. Right here you can see telegraph pole that somebody has yanked out and put beside the grade, pieces of it. And so right up here you have, just coming up right here again, so you can see there was more ballast that was dug from here. The dog's still with us here. So right up here we're coming up to the milepost 28 water tank. So this was not an original water tank on the line. This was added afterwards. It was added, oh brother, do we got internet here? Let's see if we can look this up, because I don't remember. I should have looked at it beforehand. Okay, so it was added in 1931, and basically it was a result of a reorganization with the line. And so there were water tanks at Langmuir, and there was one at Kemel. And basically what happened is that by the 1930s, we had bigger locomotives that could travel farther. They didn't need as much water because they had a bigger tender capacity for their water. And so they removed those two water tanks and then they put the one in here. And this one was here until 1957, right when they started sort of discontinuing, you know, steam locomotives on the line. So you can see, this is probably one of the best preserved ones that you can see on the line, just because it's so visible. And you can see the four pads. Piece of a telegraph pole down here, so you can see the four pads, and you can see the main center column of the water tank. The uptake pipe is right there. All right, and so you can imagine this water tank kind of sitting right here, and just over here, and you would have to have this for every water tank. You would have to have a section house. Some people refer to this as the pump house. On the CN map that I have, it says that it's a section house. It may have been used to house the pumping mechanism as well, to pump the water. It wasn't a particularly big structure. It's really neat because you could see it's built on a concrete pad, and you can see the clay, the red clay sort of cinder block bricks that they use to construct the outside of the structure. You can see parts of the roof. You can see the chimney in here as well. So it's kind of a neat little thing. And then over here, I don't know if we can see it. I was told that if you kind of pay attention and see, the water's all stirred up on this side, so you can't really see very far in there. But apparently the intake pipes are over here, if I'm not mistaken. They're on, I'm pretty sure they said on that side. So you can see over here, this side of S Lake is clear, but I'm pretty sure they said somebody told me on that side of the grade. Again, you can see how clear the water is on this side of S Lake. Okay, let's keep going here. We're gonna probably lose our sun. And so you can see yet another one of these causeways here. Again, all built with fill. You can see all the rock in there. You can see how clear the water is on this side. It's been a little rainier as of late, and so there's a bit more sediment that's been stirred up. And so normally you can see quite a distance into this into the water here. Remember when I was here last year re-shooting the exploration video, saw a whole bunch of fish. There's a culvert here, and there was a whole bunch of fish that swam through the culvert from one side of the grade to the other. They all came right through here. And so here, right in through here, is the post for milepost 28. Unfortunately, the sign is gone. The sign is no longer there, sadly. So can't show you that. But again, so little causeway, and we're back in through one of these till ridges, right? So again, these glacial features. Again, you can see a whole bunch of big timbers here, just in the bush there. Again, there's probably a good chance that some of these were trestles. There might have been some trestle work that would have been filled in here instead of having culverts, because I'm going to point one up just up ahead, close to milepost 29. You're going to see that there was a trestle, and then they basically filled it in and just stuck a culvert in there instead of having the trestle work. So again, in through another till ridge here. And then we leave S Lake behind, and now we are going to be coming on to what is known as Porthos Lake. Now, one of the mysteries sometimes is how and why things get named the way that they do. I have no idea where the name Porthos comes from, like in this context. I know the name Porthos as a history teacher, because if you're familiar with the story of the Three Musketeers are named Athos, Porthos, and D'Artagnan. So again, why did this get called that in particular? No idea. All right, so we're gonna hold up here because we're gonna shoot the drone up again, and then we're gonna do a little bit of recording, and then we'll hop back up on the bike. All right, back moving again. The wind is picked up considerably. This is what we've been dealing with a lot this spring. Just crazy winds, unsettled weather. Like last week we had a nice week where it was like sunny and there wasn't very much wind, and then now we're kind of back into this same sort of situation where it's, you know, like the wind is, the only nice thing about the wind is the black flies are atrocious. When we started the video and I was using the drone, it was I was getting swarmed. So here you can see this this causeway here running through Porthos Lake, and again you can see all the rock fill that was used to create the right-of-way. Oh, it's gonna be crazy flying the drone. It's too windy. I was hoping the wind would hold off. What time is it? 9:45. But it was a little calmer this morning, but it's really seemed to pick up now. So normally you would be able to see, it's very, very clear, the water in here. And again, so the reason why we're highlighting this piece of grade, both in this video and with the drone, is because, you know, it's very unique in the sense that the grade kind of cut through this. Move to the other side of the grade here. Ballast isn't as bad. Very unique, cutting through the lakes, and it literally cut off pieces of lake from some of the other parts. Okay, dog's still with us. Once we get into the trees here, the wind is going to drop considerably. The dragonflies are going crazy. Lots to eat with this wet weather that we've had. The bugs are going to be crazy, and it's so strange. We had such a dry winter, very little snow. Seems like we're getting it all now in the spring. Very different compared to last year. Last year was more snow in the winter and very, very sparse in the spring and the summer and the fall. The other issue too is that all the vegetation is going to grow more with all of this moisture. And so you can understand why we like to do these railway hikes in the spring or the fall. Like, you know, like it's early June, right? So everything's just starting to grow up. Nothing's filled in completely yet, and you can see how difficult the visibility is. It's actually quite pleasant in here. It was cold through Porthos Lake there, and now we're going to get into another portion, but this one isn't as open, so hopefully it's not going to be as bad. GPS died. Battery's dead. Good thing I know where I'm going. Okay, dog's still with us here. Lots of little remnants here and there. You're finding, you know, spikes and tie plates and pieces of telegraph pole. You're gonna see some stuff here in this stretch here. So we're coming, oh, not alongside, through Porthos Lake again. It's not going to be as rough here because it's a little more sheltered. It's unfortunate because if this part is calm, you can see very, very well into the water. So for example, you can see things like this. So you can see the cribbing and the base for telegraph pole. Holy moly. TV, if anybody needs one. Again, the water's very, very clear. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if it's the shallowness or the bottom. Again, you can see another base of a telegraph pole. Yeah, it's unfortunate, this wind. Was one of the things I was hoping that, you know, with the drone you could kind of see the clearness of the water, but I guess that's not happening. So there's supposed to be something here beside the grade. Oh my god, ballast is just brutal. Did I miss it? No, there it is. So we do have a piece of signage here. So this is a variation of a flanger sign. This is an obstruction warning. So basically on the flanger plow, there's a middle plow that clears the inside of the track, and then there's often wings. There's a spreader plow that pushes it away, pushes the snow away from the grade. And so the reason for that is there's an obstruction that is coming up here. So that was lying in the grass, and when I was here 3 years ago, never saw it. So last year, it was earlier, so it was in May, and we came here and I saw the sign and I kind of pulled it out of the grass a little bit so it's a bit more visible. So the reason for the obstruction warning is this. Now, as I mentioned, some of these causeways may have been trestles at some point. So there actually was a piece of trestle work right here. So right where this culvert is located, there was trestle work, and what they did was they pulled out the trestle work, obviously because it's needs more maintenance than a culvert, and put in a culvert. It wasn't particularly big trestle. Off the top of my head, I want to say it's like 28 feet or something like that. So the reason for the obstruction warning is you can see basically there's two pieces of rail that are hammered into the ground, and they don't want the spreader plow to damage the conduit. So that's the conduit for the fiber optic cable that runs alongside the line, and so basically they're making sure that it doesn't get taken out. Okay, so let's hold up here for a second, and then we're going to put the drone up again before it clouds over, and then we'll resume. All right, let's resume our journey here. Oh my God. I love the ballast, let me tell you. It's my favorite. So we got one more piece of Porthos Lake here that we have to go through. Again, just kind of neat how they do these things, right? Like, I mean, we got to go through part of a lake, we got to go through part of a lake. It is what it is. Now, they probably picked this because I think there were some rooting issues up to the north. They basically had to bump around Wildgoose Lake, which is a big lake. These lakes aren't particularly deep, so it's not really a concern. Wildgoose Lake is deep. So we do have a few features on here. We have some cribs from the telegraph poles. And then right up here, we have a milepost marker. So this is milepost 29. And again, if you hear me talk about on the usual railway explorations, that's the Kinghorn mileage. And that didn't start until 1924. Prior to that, the mileage was different because the line used to start in Hornpain as opposed to so as opposed to Long Lac, and so the mileage was different. You have to add 100.8 miles, and so that becomes 129.8. All right, right up here, I'm going to slow down and I'm going to grab the dog, because when we were coming east earlier, we came out of that tree line and I could see something on the grade, and I'm like, what the heck is that? It was a skunk. And I grabbed Luna because the skunk was actually coming towards us. I guess it was walking along the causeway. I grabbed Luna and she was going mental because she wanted to go after the skunk, which is not cool. Okay, let's hold up here for a second. I have something I can use. Get into my tickle trunk here. Canadians will know what I'm talking about when you talk about the tickle trunk, if you've been around for a while. All right, we got a shoelace. Let's see if this works. Come here, Lynn. How about we do this? You stink. You know what is not as bad? You know what is not as terrible as a stinky dog? Oh, I already did that. Oh, I already have a loop. Stay with me. No skunks. All right, let's walk this bit here. See, it's starting to cloud over, and there was a chance of some showers this afternoon, so looks like it's starting to roll in here. Sorry. Just keeping an eye out for things. Hopefully Mr. Skunk has gone away. So what ended up happening was the skunk ended up kind of going off to the side of the grade, and he went that way, and we walked along as close as I could to the edge, hanging on to Luna. And like I said, she was not happy. She wanted to go and see what the heck that was. And she's never been sprayed, and I want to keep it that way. Actually, I think this is the only second time I've ever seen a skunk on one of these sort of explorations. I don't think I've ever seen one on the bike. I think I was once a few years back I was in the fall time. I was with my son. We were walking, and that was by ironically, where Kimo Station is just ahead. That was by Kimo Lake, so that was just south of Orient Bay. Okay, we're gonna walk up to the bend here, and then I'll let Luna go. Hopefully, we'll be in the clear here. Telegraph pole in there. Maybe we should go have a look. It's literally right in the, probably everything's gone off of it. Yeah, it's just one busted Dominion 42 on there. Okay, let's just be safe. Come on over here, Lynn. Let's just be safe. Get up to the bend there. Hopefully there's no more skunks around. So we're talking about all those glacial features here. You've got a big one here. So there's a big ridge here that the railway cuts through. And again, you see that all along here, right? Because lots of spots of gravel and things like that alongside the lakes and things like that here. Which was great for the railway. And if you watch the explorations, talk about the fact that they did use that material for ballast for the line. I actually have a geological report that was probably done in 1916, but it was published in 1917, so it comes from the Ontario government. And it essentially covers the area from Long Lac, or as it was known at the time, Long Lac, en français, which is basically Long Lac. The name Long Lac is basically an anglicized corruption of the French, and basically Long Lac is Long Lake, if you don't know French. And so the geological report covers the area. It goes from, oh, how's it worded? From Long Lac to Jellicoe and Orient Bay or something like that. And in there they talk about how they dug gravel alongside the grade for ballast. All right, let's finish her up here. Basically, we're going to turn this corner here, and then, what time is it? 10:22. There's a comment on this month. I just posted on YouTube this month's extra credit video on the Pigeon River Lumber Company, and there's a comment. I'll have to read that when we get back to the truck. We got a little bit of cell coverage in this area, so kind of going through a little cutting here. See, again, everything's nice and greened up. So much nicer away from the wind there. It was chilly along Porthos there. It hasn't been a particularly warm spring. Those are the bands that they wrap the ties in, bundles of ties. Not really overly warm. A few days over 20 degrees, but nothing really to write home about. So again, probably we're paying for that mild winter that we had. Okay, dog's still with us. See, the tamaracks are all needled out. So this is the last stretch here, because just right up there is the access road. So that's Wildgoose Beach Road. So it's kind of funny. We actually did 3 things on this hike, or this exploration today. So we're filming this, where we're cutting through, we're showing you S and Porthos and milepost 28. And we did another episode we've done a few videos on getting there, where we basically show you the driving portion. And so we did that while we were driving here, and then obviously we did the drone video for the regular Offbeat Adventures series. So I'm multitasking today. Feel like I should get a cookie or something. It is quite nice out. Yeah, there's some dark clouds coming this way. Looks not bad that way. Managed to not get too mangled by the black flies. Again, that breeze helps. There you can see there's bits of tie and stuff like that that are still in place. There's another one up there. So we're done. There is a junction box for the fiber optic cable here, so you can see a mileage. So 29.64 on the Kinghorn. You can see they're logging here alongside the road. All right, so we've reached our destination here on the end of our hike. So anyway, so hopefully you've enjoyed this little tour of the area, and we'll jump back into the living room portion.